Alex Ferguson is enthused by Erik Ten Hag's performance at Manchester United. Obviously, the results are really the most important thing, but there are very other off the pitch scenarios that has really gone ahead and really rectified Manchester United and really get a team to play as together. And this is why United is here, third in the Premier League table, still in the Carabao Cup final, in the fifth round of the FA Cup, and in the knockout stage of the UEFA Europa League, where we've gotten a boost as another Barcelona player is out in the first leg of United versus Barcelona at the Spotify Stadium down in Catalonia, and goes by names of Busquets, who walked off the field of play today in 6 minutes as he was really limping off the pitch because he was injured, and he never came back, and it's confirmed that he's out for 14 days. 14 days from now, that means he's not going to be part of the game of United versus Barcelona at their new named stadium known as Spotify Stadium, that was known as Camp Nou. That is it. So welcome to United Matters channel. In this story, we talk about Erik Ten Hag hailing the second goal scored against Crystal Palace as a team goal. I've counted the touches. I'm going to let you know how many touches we have put together that really made the central defense of Crystal Palace get disorganized, because it was really a very, very good clear show of the Erik Ten Hag ball, and those that really enjoyed it, their eye test will never forget it. So don't forget to subscribe, and we're going to talk about the new list of submissions of the players of United in the UEFA Europa League. Those who have been really got out and those that have been really included. The list is out, and here onto the United Matters channel, we are going to let you know about that list. So where do we start from? Let's start off from the story coming in from the gentleman. I think he's called all right, let's do this. He's Mike Keegan, sports news correspondent at the Mail Sport. He has confirmed to us that Alex Ferguson has long been a regular at Old Trafford matches, but is now becoming a regular at United away games. Sources have disclosed that Alex Ferguson is enthused by Erik Ten Hag. Now, note, home games and away games, ever since he really threw in a towel or retired from being the manager in 2013 after clinching the 20th league title for Manchester United in 2013, he has been a regular at Old Trafford, but he has not always been a regular while United is playing away. But what has really gotten him into a mode of trying to go and really also be away, or be on the away games of Manchester United? It's what Ten Hag has really gone ahead to put up at Manchester United. One will not even understand this because some fans don't give attention to detail, but if I told you pay a lot of attention to detail, Ten Hag is a manager that the board of United never wanted. All right, he might have been on their short list, but he was not the priority. The priority was Pochettino. Even Alex Ferguson wanted Pochettino to come in at Manchester United because Pochettino is a friend of Alex Ferguson. Even when PSG was going to play Man City in Manchester, when was that year? Was it 2021? Alex Ferguson visited the hotel where PSG was, and he talked to Pochettino. That's it. So he wanted Pochettino to become the next United manager after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But what really did favor to us was the following. Pochettino was still tied on a long contract at PSG, and the termination clause of the contract included 30 million euros, and United didn't want to pay that money. You know, when it comes to money, the board of United, they don't want to go ahead and really pay that money. But for Erik Ten Hag, the compensation fee was really little, I think like 5 million euros, and Van der Gaar, his assistant, 1 million euro, and that was really a very good deal to do. And God helped us in that way, because Pochettino has already sold a lie and his believers that he beat Erik Ten Hag and knocked him out of the Champions League. But it was a shame to a man called Pochettino, because Ten Hag came down in London and beat him by 1-0. That's it. When they went to Ajax, Ten Hag got a 2 goal-nil lead. They came 3 from behind and they won that game of football. But why was it a shame to Pochettino? The budget and the players he had. Hurricane, Vertonghen, Hugo Lloris. When you add the players they had on the field of play that they had bought and the amount of money they had injected, it shows you how good this Ajax side that was built on a low budget was. Now, we all knew, we who know the game of football, the fans of United, that Ten Hag is 100% better than the manager of PSG by then. It was Pochettino. Everyone was not really accepting to get in Ten Hag, to get in Pochettino at Manchester United. I'm talking of the fans. The board were really pointing to this guy. They interviewed Ten Hag first and they interviewed Pochettino second. Guess what? We got a story coming in from Ajax because John Mata and Darren Fletcher boarded a plane and went to Ajax, where they interviewed Erik Ten Hag from. But it was said that Erik Ten Hag turned into the interviewer. He was the one asking the other one questions because they're the ones who came in through and really asked him questions. But it reached an extent when they had got short of questions and Ten Hag was interviewing them instead and they were giving him answers. So with that, they got to know that the fans of United were right, they are making the right choice. Because the reason as to why we wanted Ten Hag to come in at Manchester United is simple. Pep Guardiola had hinted about him on being one of the replacements for him at the City job. And even if Liverpool had lost Jurgen Klopp, he would have been looked at one of the people to be interviewed to come into this job. Real Madrid, Barcelona, and very many others. Even Thierry Henry came out and hinted on it recently after we lost to Arsenal that he had advised Joan Laporta, the president of Barcelona, to take in Erik Ten Hag. And obviously he didn't. And now United has him. And Ferguson has every reason to say that I was wrong to consider Pochettino the replacement of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he was sacked. And obviously Ten Hag is doing everything right at the club of Manchester United. Now, let me show you some of the things that Ten Hag has really gone ahead to do that are really taking Sir Alex Ferguson wild and mad to start watching even the away games of Manchester United. First and foremost, ever since Sir Alex Ferguson left, the manager with the highest winning rate was Jose Mourinho, 58%. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in next with 54%. Louis van Gaal and David Moyes came last. Look at Erik Ten Hag's winning rate. In the Premier League, he has played 21 games. In the UEFA Europa League, he has played 6 games, won 5 and lost 1. In the Carabao Cup, we first played Aston Villa, we beat Burnley, we beat Charlton, and we beat Nottingham Forest. Those are 4 games, all straight wins. I think there are 5 because the semi-final was really a double tie. 5 games, all wins. FA Cup, first team drawn against was Everton. They came to Old Trafford. They fell on our sword. 3-1. We proceeded to the next round. Next round, drawn against Reading. Reading came at Old Trafford and we beat them. 50th round, we are drawn against West Ham, and I know we are going to overcome them because this team is really unstoppable. And this is one of the reasons as to why Ferguson has said, I'm not only going to be at Old Trafford enjoying these wins, but let me also go to the away performances and enjoy these games of Manchester United, because you saw him in the stands when they were playing against Arsenal, and he was not a regular on the away games that United have always been playing. You get? This time round, Ten Hag has really brought him to become a regular into these games of Manchester United. The other one is this. This is why Ferguson is really loving to watch Manchester United. This is it. We've been told by the Mail Sports that Manchester United are the most that have taken the most points in the Premier League since the restart. You get? Now, ever since the World Cup really came to an end and the Premier League resumed, no team has really collected more points than us. Manchester United has 16 points. Brentford has collected 14. Brighton has collected 13, Man City has collected 13, Arsenal has collected 13, Fulham has collected 13. And in those 16, we've beaten Nottingham Forest, we've beaten Wolverhampton Wanderers, we've beaten Bournemouth, we've beaten Man City, we've beaten Crystal Palace, and then we drew with Crystal Palace. So 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. What a performance brought up by Erik Ten Hag to the club of Manchester United. And obviously, this is why Sir Alex Ferguson is now obsessed and enthused to always go to the games of Manchester United, because he knows that at least there is a killer instinct that Erik Ten Hag has gone ahead to instill into the team of Manchester United. And one of the things that Ten Hag has really gone ahead to do that are really helping or really putting Alex Ferguson on the tenterhooks, always to not miss out on a game. What I think this one is one of them that he commented about after the game. Everyone noticed that second goal that we scored against Crystal Palace. It was by far the best team goal I've seen United really score. Putting up a couple of touches together, and obviously almost every player on the field of play had a touch onto that ball. From David De Gea to Rafael Varane, Lisandro Martinez to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw passes into Garnacho. Garnacho passes into Fred. Fred passes into Bissaka. Bissaka finds Bruno. Bruno finds Anthony. Bruno played it back to Anthony. Anthony played it back to, I think, Bissaka. Then Bissaka finds Casemiro. Casemiro goes for a single touch to find Garnacho. Garnacho goes in for Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw does a square to find Rashford, and Rashford really tapped it into the back of the net. Now, Ten Hag had the following to say of this goal. I counted close to between 16 and 20 touches of that goal, and they were really uninterrupted. That's it. Palace were drawn, baffled by that movement of the ball. Quick passing, not losing the ball, but Garnacho was really one of those that really initiated that move off the left, and he really had the second assist to Luke Shaw. What a player that Garnacho is at the club of Manchester United. Then Ten Hag said on the Marcus Rashford's goal, it was a great team goal by switching play, playing between the lines, great combinations, and then finally he finished off a brilliant pass by Luke Shaw as well, the cross. And then, of course, the finish was good. So he's talking about the combinations, the rhythm, the patterns. You know, you will always like it when your team is winning. And I don't believe that there is a person who is really having a hashtag Ten Hag out. But the bad thing is that when you go to Twitter and put in hashtag Ten Hag out, there are people that really believe that Ten Hag is not the right person for the job. Now, if the former guff of United, who really brought all of us to support the club, is telling us that this is the guy who is right for the job and he's doing wonders at Manchester United, because he almost has hallmarks of Sir Alex Ferguson. Why? Sir Alex Ferguson was at Aberdeen, a team that was nowhere near winning or breaking the dominance of Rangers and Celtic, and he made them win the league. He took them to the UEFA Europa League of that time and he won it. That's when United got Sir Alex Ferguson and brought him in. Even on his coming at Manchester United, he never got instant success like Ten Hag, because in 1990-1991 season, he was going to be sacked by the board of United, but he won the FA Cup. And then the league that was called the Big League, now Premier League, came into play. From Big League, it was named the Premier League. Then Sir Alex Ferguson took over. And then he started winning. That is in 1992, and the rest was history. Now, for Erik Ten Hag, from Ajax, winning league trophies, reaching the Champions League finale, because I believe Ten Hag reaching the Champions League finale and knocking out Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Juventus, and being knocked out by Tottenham Hotspur, a team that he came to London and beat by 1-0. Then he went to Ajax, led by 2-0, and in the dying minutes he conceded 3. It shows you that he had almost won it. He had almost won the Cup Winners' Cup by then, right now known as the UEFA Europa League. So it shows you that they are almost the same. But the difference is that Ten Hag has come and instantly made an impact that Ferguson never made. And I believe if Ten Hag stays here, backed by the new owners that are really coming in through, he's really going to supersede lots of things that Ferguson did because he pays a lot of attention to detail. And secondly, he's a twin one. This is one of the differences between Sir Alex Ferguson and Ten Hag. Ferguson was only a manager. He was not a coach. He used to bring in coaches that were really in the know of the new game of football. Ten Hag himself is a coach, but he's having his assistant known as Van der Gaar and the likes of the McLaren of this world, but he's also a coach. He can improve players and coach them, and he said that the only position that he feels like he cannot coach a player to improve is the forwards. That's why he brought in Benedict McCarthy, the former player of South Africa, FC Porto and Blackburn, to come in through and really coach the likes of the Rashfords, Martials, Garnacho, because he's not good at that. But the defense, midfield, he's a genius. That's it. That is Ten Hag for you and what he has really gone ahead to do to Sir Alex Ferguson. I believe Ferguson is now a happy man that the club is not shrinking as it was when he left. Moyes came in through. He never spent even a season. He was sacked. Louis van Gaal spent 2 seasons at Manchester United, won the FA Cup. He was sacked. Jose Mourinho came in 2016, and in 2018 December he was sacked from the job of Manchester United, and ever since then the only manager that gone ahead to spend 3 years on the job, I think it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he was also sacked in his 3rd year at the club of Manchester United. That was 2021. Then the interim came in through Ralf Rangnick. Then Ten Hag finally here at the club of Manchester United. Now let's talk about the UEFA Europa League. A new squad has been really submitted, but there are players that have been really removed out and new ones have been included. Who are those that they've really pulled out? Cristiano Ronaldo out, Martin Dubravka out, Charlie McNeil out, Shora Shoretire out, Axel Tuanzebe out. Ronaldo contract was terminated, parted ways with Manchester United mutually. Dubravka recalled back from the loan by Newcastle. Charlie McNeil on loan at Forest. Charlie McNeil on loan. Shora Shoretire at Bolton. Axel Tuanzebe at Stoke City. That's where he is, and that's where he's playing the game of football from. So that means there is no reason as to why they should be kept into the squad that is going to be playing the UEFA Europa League. Now, Jack Butland, the new goalkeeper on loan from Crystal Palace, is in. Marcel Sabitzer, obviously in at Manchester United, doing the needful also from Bayern Munich, signed on the deadline day. Then Wout Weghorst, these 3 players that we've brought in have also been registered as the United players to take part into the UEFA Europa League, as well as the changes made for the UEFA Europa League. Now talking about the UEFA Europa League, you know we are going to play a knockout game with Barcelona, and guess what has happened? As Eriksen got an injury, I think Ousmane Dembele got an injury over the weekend, and he's ruled out of the 2 games they're going to play with Barcelona. Then Eriksen gets an injury over the weekend in the FA Cup. That's it. So that was like a 1-1. This time round, there is another important player in the system of Xavi that he plays at Barcelona that's been so instrumental into that team that has gotten an injury. That is Busquets. Busquets is a very, very good player, experienced. He has been on the helm of the best midfielders in the world for a very long time, battling it out a lot with Casemiro. Now, he is out for the first leg. It says he's going to be out for 14 days, yet the first game you're going to play with Barcelona at their stadium is going to be played on, let me be exact, what is the date like? What is the date like? On the 16th of February. It's going to be Thursday next week. We are going to be playing Barcelona. Now, if you are to add 20 days, today is 6th, you add 14 days. That's 20 days, meaning that he will only be eligible to play in the game, in the return leg at Old Trafford on the 23rd. But will he even be fit? That is it, because those will be 3 days of him being back in training, and I don't believe the manager will risk a lot. So that means Frankie de Jong will come in, Frank Kessie, and maybe Gavi, or Pedri, to play in that midfield 3 to face Casemiro, Sabitzer, and Freddy or Bruno Fernandes. That's it. So let's wait and see what's going to happen. But last story of the day, I think you've enjoyed me. 3 stories for today, and tomorrow I would like to put in a video before lunchtime. I want to wake up early in the morning. I pray that the Holy Spirit wakes me up early in the morning. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Your thoughts was Alex Ferguson Enthused by Erik Ten Hag are welcome in the comment section below. What are your thoughts about the new players that Manchester United have gone ahead to really register in the UEFA Europa League, and Ten Hag team goal that really scored against Crystal Palace? It was the second one of Rashford. What are your thoughts about it? May the Almighty bless you abundantly. Don't forget to subscribe. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Good night, my mates. See you tomorrow. I'm out.